Coming to the troubles of a gravity distribution network. So whenever you see a gravity distribution network, you will surely have this problem of irrational distribution of flow and pressure, which means in one particular area you will have a very high pressure which is near to the overhead tank, and similarly when you go away from the tank you will have irrational distribution. You will not have a pressure and a quantum of water which is going to be supplied to that particular area. So that is one problem. And least, of course, when I'm talking about network, again, there is one point called residual pressure. So what is this residual pressure? In general, when at consumer point, we will be maintaining a minimum pressure at which the water should come to the consumer. So say for example, in many cases, it will range from point 2 to point 0.5, not more than that. Point 0.5 is also very, very high. So point 2 to point 0.5. So that is going to be my residual pressure. Say point 0.2 is my residual pressure. And in the upstream, all the frictional losses, and then you have gradient differences. All those will be added to the residual pressure, and that will be set as the pressure required at the pump house, or based on that only the height of the overhead tanks will be designed. So this is residual pressure, importance of residual pressure. And in gravity distribution, predominantly you cannot maintain the residual pressure at farthest end from the tanks, and it will have that irrational distribution. So that is one thing. And in gravity main, you don't have control over anything, so there is a very high non-revenue water and increased LPCD consumption. So these are all some of the problems which we are facing day in and day out in India. So just see, think over it when you are supplying. I was actually discussing about 100 liters, and when most of the cities are actually talking in MLDs, and Chennai city, they are talking today of supplying around 880 MLD, out of which just think 40 percentage is NRW, and most of it goes through leakages and all those things. In that way, your around 400 MLD is going as waste into the ground, and it's a very serious issue. At the water stress we are actually at, and this is going to improve. The water stress is going to improve in coming days. So this is a serious issue, and that is the reason most of the Indian government's water distribution schemes are bringing in direct pumping option as well, and they're also asking us to, I mean, asking the designers to predominantly go with direct pumping systems, so that you will have control over the network and the residual pressure. So this is one thing which I want to discuss, and of course, high capital investment, bringing up I mean, constructing up the overhead tanks. And I've seen in many cases, some of the union territories will have double-decker tanks, and it will have two storage tanks. And just see the amount of strength it needs to have, the pile needs to have to hold that double-decker tanks. So it's a very high capital investment, and we don't have much of the data available on only thing is you have the water, I mean the data on the flow rate of water which you're supplying at the station. So apart from that you don't have much of the data. So these are some of the troubles which people face in gravity distribution network.